Good evening, everyone. It's that time of the week. It's everyone's favourite night of the week. It's Friday night pint, and I'm joined by Dan and Graham. Unfortunately, Scott and Nicky are not with us tonight. Scott's away with his family, and Nicky's driving back from Bradford, I believe. He's had he's part of his new job. He's gone up to Bradford today, so he's running back late, so he won't be joining us tonight. But how you boys been?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Not bad. Keep up on the old weight loss. Been swimming and everything and all sorts. And
your video this week, you lost and Jason stayed the same, didn't he?
Yeah, well, because he lost £9 the week before.
Nice,
which is incredible.
Yeah, it's massive.
I would rather have a slow and steady, consistent weight loss, though.
Slow and steady wins the race.
But yeah, I've taught myself how to swim, which is like I never used to be able to swim, and I taught myself off YouTube. It's crazy, so I can sort of swim now.
Amazing what you can pick up on YouTube these days, isn't it?
I know. Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, G Dog down the bottom. How you doing, mate?
I'm all right, mate. I've been busy this week. Has everyone else had a good week? You had a good week? Everyone in the chat had a good week?
What you been doing?
Working.
No. Working 9 to 5.
Monday. Well, I was blown out in the arse.
Let me just retweet that.
But
retweet the show.
Hello to Elliot. I'll start again. We ain't live. Hello, everyone in the chat. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you've all had a great week. Boys, I know there's not a lot of money in the West Ham Fan TV kitty, but I had to dip into the transfer window tonight to get someone in. I brought someone in that hasn't missed a home game this season. It's the one and only. It's the only Russ from My Hammers 11, the match day, Mr. DJ.
Just me and Thomas Souček. That's all it is. Me and Thomas Souček haven't missed. Even David Moyes has missed home games this season. Do you remember?
Even Moyes.
Yeah, it's true.
Even Moyesy. More
true.
committed than Moyesy. There you go.
Do you know what? You know what? I don't want to jump ahead, but if we are looking for a new manager, just saying, Russ there. It's could be an option. But so I take it you've come to bring me my trophy from Family Field Fortunes.
Congratulations!
Right?
Yeah, it's great. That was very good. No, I was very impressed. Adam Franco.
What's everyone drinking tonight anyway? Russ, we can see you got a nice big pint there, mate. Well done. Getting involved. Graham, what are you drinking, mate?
I'm on our very own Scott told me to try them.
The Thirsty Ferry. He half drinks some shit, then he Scott.
I'll tell you what, it's not bad. It's not bad at all.
What are you on, Dan? Tea?
I'm just fuck. No, I'm not. Do you know what? I just realised that tea bag is still there from last. It's gone a while, isn't it?
Fucking hell. I've gone a bit because the summer's out, because the sun's out. I've gone a bit continental, and I've gone for a fruity cider tonight.
Nice.
With ice.
Oh yes. What is it? Is it strawberry and lime or?
It's a strawberry and lime Kroppenberg, and I'll tell you what, it is gorgeous.
You need to get yourself down to Lidl. Honestly, they're better, but just as good half the price.
Do you know what? I have actually had the ciders from Aldi before, and they are really nice.
Yeah, I mean Aldi. I think I mean Aldi.
They're probably the same because they both do similar stuff, don't they? But
see, I can only do a few ciders. I have to have if I have a couple ciders and I get back on the beer, then maybe it's too much sweet. If I do cider after cider, too much sweet.
Yeah, you can only have about 3 or 4. They do get a bit sickly after a while.
What, the old Easy Riders?
Huh?
Easy.
Oh, here we go. Look, Daddy Dyer's in the room. All right.
but you say it's nice sunny weather, but it ain't, is it?
Ain't today, is it?
I'll tell you what, it feels like it in here because when I come home, I've got like a heater down there, and I forgot that it was turned on. So I've got to come in, shut the door, and when I've come in here, it was like a sauna. I was sweating. I had to leave the door open for about 10 minutes to let the air out.
And I must apologise. The reason why the weather's so shit today is because last night I put my pool out.
That's right.
So I was there out to about midnight, filling it all up, doing it all, and then literally I got this morning.
Here he is, look. Even though he's not here, he's here in spirit. It's Scott. Yes, Graham, the thirsty ferret.
Recommended to me. I'll tell you what, they're not bad. I'll give him that. They're not bad.
I suppose we should give Russ a bit of a proper introduction for any of the people that may not have been privileged enough to see what he does and see his channel. Obviously, Russ he's got another channel which I believe we've all appeared on called My Hammers 11, which was great fun where we've done all our combined 11. You've had low ex players, managers on there, and all sorts of stuff. But Russ is also the DJ at West Ham as well, which is why I was making the jokes about him being there every game. So but no, check out. Little plug. We'll plug him early. So
get in there early, because usually when we get after about 30 minutes, Russ, we start talking absolute shit. Look, Russ, if you look up there, mate, that's My Hammers 11 up there.
You done it? Oh, cool. Good on you, man.
Yeah, my wife got me that for Christmas.
Oh, nice, man. That's cool.
Great
memories. It's good. Going well. We got some. Actually, we have some quite interesting ex-players coming up over the next couple of weeks.
Nice.
Just teasing it out there.
You must be running out of players.
Throwing it out there.
Yeah, I get a little. To be honest, we get a little. There's a couple of no disrespect to the people I'm interviewing next week, but they're not up there. Bless them.
Yeah.
But no, it's good fun. No, I love it. As you said, even if someone's played once for the club, that's once. Then all of us would have changed our whole life to do that once. So they wore the claret and blue shirt, so it's all good, man. It's all good.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. But let's get into some of the topics. There's loads of stuff to talk about, transfer rumours and all that. But I think the main one we'll start off with is obviously that this week, one rumour that I didn't think I was going to see was David Moyes. Everton want David, and I can't believe. Well, I can believe because modern day football. But Ancelotti just got up and walked out. I couldn't believe that. He was just like, "What? Real Madrid? Yeah, go on in. See you later."
Apparently,
last season he was only saying, "Yeah, I can't wait for the future of Everton in the new stadium." And
do you know what's even worse? Apparently, after they got rid of Zidane, he put the feelers out. Because Allegri turned them down or something, and so he put the feelers out, and they was like, "Yeah, we'll have a bit of Ancelotti." And then he left, and he was like, "Yeah," he said, "Well, Real Madrid, they're competing for the Champions League. Everton, they're competing to get into Europe, and only recently was competing to stay in the league." So I was like, "Wow, what a slap in the face." On the way out.
I feel sorry for Everton, because Everton were like just about to. You thought they were like. Just about to sort of, go to not get next level, but they brought Ancelotti in. They got Rodriguez in. You could see them, obviously they had a great start and they felt forward and they sort of came slightly good towards the end. Could have got that seventh spot really. But
Chris is saying that he's been relegated from his main TV to watch this on his phone while his missus watches The Masked Dancer.
And I'm not saying anything, but Nicky isn't here.
Yeah, the indignity of this shit is embarrassing.
Yeah, Nicky could be the Masked Dancer.
Could be the Masked Dancer. I'm just
Chris,
saying,
I know Friday Night Pint is embarrassing, mate.
Chris, I think I'll never win the battle with the handset in my ass now.
I could see you on the Masked Dancer though, Greg, giving it the old drive bunny or something.
The two-step.
Dressed as a Duracell battery or something.
If that video that Dan tucked me up with from your wedding is anything to go by, cheers for that, Dan, by the way.
You could go on there. You could go on there as a massive dildo singing "I'm Coming Out" or something. Anyway, David Moyes.
But no, do you know what I think? Look, I'm not trying to tout Moyes for the job. I think he'll stay. But if I'm Everton, that's an appointment that I think they should be looking at, because they've gone the fashionable routes, tried to go the fashionable routes. I'm talking Martinez, Koeman, Silva. They tried to pluck these what they call the fashionable up and coming managers were. That didn't work out. Then they got the established Ancelotti. Problem is with a big Ancelotti is he will want when the big jobs come out. That's what he's going to want, and other big clubs will take it. So someone like, I'm not saying Moyes in particular, but someone like that maybe give a project to and go like it.
There's parallels to Everton and us, really. You think we did the whole thing with Pellegrini, getting established. He's won the Premier League, and then it sort of failed. And where sort of Ancelotti's buggering off rather than having to be sacked because he, bought Roberto. You can see, obviously he turned it, but before he signed with us. Didn't he interview for the Everton job, I think, and they gave it to Ancelotti. I think I'm pretty sure there was something that he was on the shortlist, him and Ancelotti, for the Everton job before.
You know what, though? I wouldn't. I can't see Moyes going, and I think he will sign a new deal. But it wouldn't surprise me if the way he was treated before, that he actually did walk out on the club to go to Everton. And I think he would have the fans' blessing if he did do it. But I don't think he will. I think he's worked so hard.
He's got an opportunity. He's got an opportunity to build something big.
Yeah, he got us into Europe. He's got something to build on next season. I'll be very surprised if he does go.
I mean, I suppose it will all come down. And again, I'm confident that he will stay in Europe and all that. But the small caveat is what the conversations are going on between him and the owners. What budget he's got to work with, what they're looking to, and if their intentions line up, if their plans line up, he might look and see.
I'll be honest, Dan. He's probably, if you're looking at budgets between the two clubs, he's probably going to have a bigger budget if he was at Everton.
Yeah, huge.
Realistically speaking, but like you say, he's worked miracles this year, and he's got an opportunity to on that and build something, a bit of a legacy at the club.
I agree.
It would be, think about it though, if Moyes did leave, like where does that leave West Ham? Imagine we have to sit and try and find another manager. It'd be a disaster.
Yeah.
And into Europe.
I mean, there's people available, but I mean, to be honest, it's the same as a lot of clubs, isn't it? You got to think. Obviously, Spurs haven't got a manager yet. There's a lot, Palace haven't got a manager yet, and it's like and Everton. There's like four clubs. Well, technically, we haven't, although we sort of have got Moyes because he signed because he had that one. I mean, apparently it's all there to be signed, but it hasn't been signed yet.
Well, apparently there's a 1-year extension, isn't it? So we have to agree. He hit the game, so West Ham would have to agree to it or something. Yeah,
but I think they're trying to give him a bigger contract, aren't they? So I think it's like a 3-year deal. But I mean, you think transfer wise as well. All these other clubs, they should be trying to steal business straight away, because Spurs aren't buying, Everton aren't buying at the moment, we're not buying at the moment, Palace aren't buying at the moment, so it's, I'm pretty confident he's going to stay. I'm not worried. I'm not really worried.
Yeah, I can't see us losing David Moore. I would be gutted if he did leave the club because I think it would really disturb us. Yeah. Because what we're trying to build at the moment. And I think he worked so hard last season to get us into Europe. Why would he...
Well, he looks so happy. He looks so happy as well. That anyone who saw the lap of honour, lap of appreciation, whatever they call it now, like he was literally, and you see on the club website after, like he was so happy. I've never seen him so animated. So, it just seems to be a nice vibe around the club. If he starts Everton, he'll have to start all over again, won't he? Yeah. All over again.
Unless they offered him like silly money that you just can't. So they'd have to like ridiculous money, and he goes, you know what? I'm just going to go for the money.
I think he strikes me as the sort of manager that wants the money. He's not interested in money. He's interested in building something.
Everyone has their price, though, didn't they?
But he's trying to rebuild his reputation, though, isn't it? I mean, he was a bit of a joke manager before he came for really this season, to be honest. Yeah. And so he's trying to rebuild his reputation. So jump ship, and it's like, well, he could do it again. Does Everton? Then it's twice. That shows you something about him. But yeah, I think he's. I think with money and stuff. I mean, Moyes isn't one of those guys. If you offered him a massive transfer budget, he's not a guy who'll spend £70 million on a player. So he'll buy 7-10 million. Gems, yeah, that's what he does. So, and that's why I think he works West Ham at the moment. In terms
SDG Gaming just said, let's talk about transfers. Well, we'll get on to more transfers, but I'll just see this one because obviously we were talking about Moyes. Daka or Abraham looking at good striker, giving Tammy a chance under Moyes. And I know there's a lot of West Ham fans there that don't fancy Abraham's, but I'd have him at West Ham. I think he'd suit our system. I really do.
To be honest, mate, I think if Moyes... we've seen it with Moyes. He's sort of got older players and he's instilled sort of a good work ethic in them and discipline and that. And I think if he got older Tammy Abraham and worked with him, I think you could see Tammy Abraham improve massively.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's West Ham on the up. Everton need an oval. Can't see Moyes. It's a weird one, isn't it, with Everton because they've been spending the money season after season, but they just haven't been able to get it right. And I think they've focused on I can't forget the name of the geezer who's mainly responsible for it. James Dunlop in the chat, he's Everton fan, he'll know. But it seems like they've tried to sign like these are Wobies and Walcotts and just their transfer policy.
They signed James Rodriguez as well, didn't they?
Yeah, but the thing is, I think that was one where he came because of Ancelotti. And I think he probably feels like he's in the lurch now because Ancelotti's gone. But I think that's the thing is, whereas here, I think one thing is, and don't shoot me, everyone. I've got to give credit to a little bit of the owners is giving David Moyes a bit more control over the transfers. And I think he might not get that at Everton because they've got that structure on whatever they've been trying to do. And I think that is the main thing. I think that's what's been so successful with us is him taking that control. And
I think what David Moyes wants to do at West Ham is what a manager should do. They should be in control of transfers. They should be in control of the club. Like there's been a lot of managers down the years. Arsene Wenger used to do it at Arsenal. I remember Kirby used to do it at Charlton. Ferguson at United. They run it from top to bottom, and they do it. They want the club run how they want it. And you can see what Moyes has done. He come in and he got rid of players that were on too much wages. He didn't fancy them, so he wasn't afraid to get rid of Anderson. He wasn't afraid to get rid of Haller. You know, he had some balls to do it. So fair play to him.
Yeah. You know what the funny thing is, just quickly, you know, we was having this conversation about the scouting last week and Moyes and director of football. After that show, there was a quote where he was saying, like, and I've seen him point out before, but how he wants to just redo our whole scouting system because he thinks it's like the worst in the league, pretty much. He's identified as like the area that needs a massive overhaul. So hopefully that's some of the assurances they can give him and go, right, yeah, well, look, what you want.
So I'll tell you what, though. I'll tell you we do need to try and poach is bleeding Brentford's scouting team.
Well, the thing is, I think the best scout that we've got is David Moyes. You know, he's the manager at the end of the day. And you see him when we're not playing. You see him at other grounds watching players, and it's going to be an interesting summer. But I think we're definitely just got to get that announced this week, which I'm confident it would happen. It'd be nice that if he can get his self-tied down 3-year deal, and then he can start concentrating on bringing in a couple of players that he needs.
But I'd also like to see him being tied down to a 3-year deal. Same as Kevin Nolan, same as Stuart Pearce. Obviously, Alan's now moved to a consultant. You know, if they bring him, I don't know, Billy McKinley or someone. It's not just Moyes. I want the whole backroom staff to be tied down because it's just as important, you know. Even more so. I think people underestimate. I think the fact is, all this season we haven't had fans in the stadium, and it's about the team spirit that sort of got them through. It's not like the fans, like if you're playing shit after 60 minutes and the fans are like, come on, you know, it gives you that 10%. There's no fucker there to give you 10%. So it's the whole team, man. It's brilliant. And I think they're great. Absolutely great, boys.
It's funny about the backroom staff thing. I just saw, I'm not deviating too much from West Ham, but Spurs obviously in for Conte. And apparently the big sticking point is that he wants all of his backroom staff to come with him, and they don't want all of his backroom staff, which is insane. You've got a manager of that caliber who trusts his backroom staff and wants to bring him, and you're like, nah, you can't bring them all.
He also said that he wants them to keep Harry Kane as well, and if Harry Kane's out the door, he wants to go, then there's no chance.
Can't wait for that.
No, exactly, and that's the thing. I would love Harry Kane leaves. They don't get Conte. They stick us up with Ryan Mason. It's so interesting to see what is going on with it. But could you imagine if West Ham, you know, if we were linked to Conte, right, and our owners were like, we're not going to get him because we don't want all of his backroom staff. It'd be fuming. Would be raging. Yeah.
Russ could at least pretend to try and hide the glee in his face.
It's true though, isn't it? I mean, every West Ham fan, as soon as Kane came out of that interview with Gary Neville, everyone was like, "That's just brilliant." Brilliant. That's all they've got. Yeah, that's all they've got. And he said, if it topples down, it will topple down. But
do you know what? There was a mate of mine who's a Spurs fan. He does a Spurs channel. We done a video, right? And he's got the Inter t-shirt on. and he takes it off to reveal the Spurs t-shirt, and he's plays the chant Antonio, what we sing for Antonio, but what Chelsea fans sang, and he's giving it all of that, and he's like, yeah, and then the story came out again, yeah, it looks like no, not happened, and it was just like
Brilliant.
Beautiful. Yeah. Absolutely love it. But yeah, I would hate to be looking for a manager right now.
Yeah.
That's what we need is consistency, don't we?
Yeah.
And
we've got about Wolves. Obviously, Wolves haven't got a manager either.
Oh yeah, Wolves.
And he's been linked with Crystal Palace and Everton as well. So apparently he's been talking to Palace for the last 3 or 4 days. So it looks like he's going to go there. But I'll be a bit surprised if he went there.
I reckon Everton, Nuno.
Yeah, that's it. But then again, is that just another similar sort of like a Silva, like a Koeman? Like he's sort of done okay in a team that wasn't really expected to be there, then they dipped. Like, is that just them signing to type? Yeah, and then he'll have to rebuild because with with Wolves, he had a big say. He brought in all of those players from Portugal and things like that. He was heavily involved. So then they're going to have to go and redo the thing again. It's mad.
And he's only got Gomez as the only Portuguese player who will be playing in the Everton team, won't he? I think Andre Gomes.
He'll soon change that, mate. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, because I think was there a game last year where they had like all 11 players were Portuguese or something?
Yeah, it was near enough. Yeah, it was literally like Portugal.
Miss Amaret's and Dan Graham Ryan, I've got to leave for half hour, so sorry if I miss any idiots. There's no need to call us idiots, Miss Amaret. We'll miss you. But, I noticed that she's slipping off just as EastEnders starting. So
that's
in half hour. But no, we're keeping an eye on the chat.
It's mostly to be fair, it's mostly the watch-alongs that we do get. Like you get 1 or 2, but it's manageable. It's the watch-alongs you get loads because you get people who like to put the fake scores in and all of that stuff. So that's where it gets.
Well, that's why I liked it this season. Because I jumped on I tend to jump on some of them, and because I'm there, innit? So I'm like a minute ahead of every, and some people, if they've got really crap internet, we're almost 10 minutes in front of them. So it's like, there's been a goal, and they won't say it's for, just leave it. So pissed off.
We've probably banned him on us, haven't we?
Yeah, then I've left, then I'm off.
I remember when we done the live watch along for the Southampton game when we was all together. And I flicked on my phone. Dan said to me, see how it looks on YouTube. So I flicked on the phone and I see that we was 4-0 had scored a second. We was 2-0 up. So I had to pretend to react that I didn't know what was happening.
Whoa, you've kept that well quiet. I didn't even know that.
I knew what was coming. So I was just like, right, play it cool treat.
Right, you've done a great job because no one noticed.
I think we was about a week behind, to be fair.
Oh, that was a nightmare.
What was it? Someone said we looked like we was in Everest Base Camp. Temp was blowing everywhere, wasn't it?
But
windy.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few transfers rumours this week. One that was confirmed today is that Balbuena's leaving the club on his contract expires on the 30th of June. 62 appearances for West Ham, 3 goals. Scored in that famous game last season against Spurs, the 3-3 game. Disappointed to see him go?
Well, I am because it's one less body. And we need bodies. And but I'm not, because if it means that we can give like Alese a run out, or he goes up one, or Alves another spot up the ladder, then I'm not too disappointed. It's a shame because any player to leave that is a shame. He was good when he first signed. He was brilliant. I thought he was like, and then he sort of dips, but they all dips. Him, Diop, and O'Connor. Not 3 of them never played in form at the same time.
Well, for a while, when they first came, him and Diop had quite a decent little partnership going at the back there, didn't they? For a while.
Russell like that one.
That would be.
I'll drive him there.
Please.
Yeah. There you go, Mr. Levy.
Could you imagine their faces? They went from Super League to Conference League to getting Big Sam, and they had Mourinho. So it'd be mental. I don't think that'll ever happen. I think didn't Big Sam say he was going to be a professional poker player now, and he was going to move back to Vegas or something like that? I was reading earlier. I don't know if that was a wind-up.
Sorry for himself, isn't he? Because everyone thinks he's just a long ball manager. He was calling Antonio's disgusting what he's saying.
But yeah, Antonio didn't even. Antonio was being quite complimentary about the wingers, wasn't he? He was saying like, they were tricky. He was an handful. I don't know what he was getting. It baffled me.
It's funny, but yeah, seeing him at Spurs would be the ultimate, wouldn't it? Harry Redknapp
for Spurs.
I was so upset, because they was, looking like it was going to be in a relegation battle, and he came in and fucking took them right up the table. I was so disappointed with Harry Redknapp.
Great manager, Harry. Great manager.
But yeah, with Balbuena, I think Russ makes it's a toss up, isn't it? Because he's a good player, a very good player. But obviously he never got that much of a consistent run in the team because we'd always be chopping and changing. But at the same time, it does. If we do get an opportunity to bring in youngsters, although I do hear that one of our big main targets is a centre back, we're looking to bring in another centre back. So I think it's looking at Bonner's getting older, Dawson's getting older. Then if we can get one that's sort of there, and then we can try and bring in one youngster maybe and give him some cup games. We'll see.
What about another player I see today that looks like he might be on his way is Lanzini, which that'd be a bit of a blow really, because I think it'd be vital for us in Europe next season.
Yeah, particularly as playing in that game when he played against Burnley and played that deep line midfield role. That's perfect. When Rice or Souček need to break, you know what I mean? And again, European football, it's a slower paced game. I think him, Mark Noble, central pairing too, maybe slower. It's a shame because I think he's with Lanzini's one of those players. He's always played best where he's had a second man to play with. So like Payet and Arnautovic, when he's been the main man, when there's been no one there, he's faltered. Now he's got back into the team. You've got, Balbuena, not Balbuena, he's gone. Ben Rama. And when Jesse was playing, he had more creative players around him. He plays better. But hopefully he doesn't go. I don't want to see anyone go, really, because we need as many bodies as we need, to be honest.
Do you know what the thing is with Lanzini? For me, it's the injuries. Yeah, and that is the thing why, I feel exactly the way you feel. And if it weren't for the injuries, I would want to see him in there. And I thought we saw him back to form this season, but he can't stay fit.
He's sort of had to adapt his style a little bit, hasn't he?
Thing is, if we lose Lanzini, who's going to score against Spurs? He always scores.
And Balbuena, there's two of them gone.
What are we doing?
It'd be disappointing to see Lanzini go, and I am a bit gutted Balbuena's gone because I did like him. I thought it'd be very vital in Europe, but look, if they want to go,
Lanzini single-handedly stopped Spurs from winning the league. That's when they'd pretty much won it by then, didn't they? Won
the league in November, didn't they?
Yeah,
well, that's twice he's done that because he scored the winner at the London Stadium and beat the 1-0 when they was going for the league as well.
Lanzini.
Yeah, Lanzini. Players we've been linked with. I see one earlier, Adama Traore from Wolves. Apparently, David Moyes fancies him, and they could sort of convert him into like what he'd done with Antonio as a striker.
He had like.
Could you imagine lining up in the opposition team and seeing Antonio and Traore running at you?
Jeez,
like two double-decker buses coming at you. The size of them.
Yeah.
I like that because I say when we went up to Middlesbrough when he was what was that 3-4 years ago? Was it? No, than that, wasn't it?
5 years ago, mate.
Yeah, and Nicky's brother was saying, "Oh, I like this Traore, he's a good player, and he absolutely, I think it was Cresswell he was up against, tore him a bit pace-wise, but it was just his final ball let him down. But now he seems to have that to his game as well.
Well,
his crossing's a lot better.
He always seems to have a decent game against us as well, doesn't he?
I think we hype him up a bit because we know because our left-hand side isn't the strongest pace-wise. So I think if anyone running against Cresswell, he hasn't got a lot of pace, has he? Bless him. So he's going to look even faster. He's who you run. I'd like to see him have a race against Fredericks, and we'll see. But I'm the same as Dan. I'm not. He's not too keen about.
He's powerful. He's a powerful player, and I think
no denying when he's
added a bit more to his game in the few years since I see him at Middlesbrough, he seems to have added a lot.
He wouldn't be my first choice, but if we brought him in as a squad player for Europe and we've got a lot of games, I wouldn't. I trust David Moyes with his transfer.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's the end there. You got to trust him, but just reacting to the story, I just think he's not been good this season. He has really not had a good season, and even last season, I think it's when you see him, the fact that he runs so much and he's got the pace and he has got the power, you sort of overlook some of his other weaknesses. And that's not one.
And one thing he does as well is that he puts baby oil on him, doesn't he? So no one can grab him.
Yeah,
he greases himself. I love that. I want him at West Ham just for that reason.
Will you be the grease boy, Rye? Is that it?
Yeah, I'll grease him up. As long as he scores goals, I'll grease him up all over.
But I tell you what, I was relieved when one story came up about a player that we've missed out on, unfortunately, because he signed a new contract with his club, and that's Benteke. When I saw we were linked with Benteke, I was like, "You have got to be joking."
Well, it was when he put the Hammers sign on his Instagram page, and that's what worried me.
I was like, no, please. Jace would have been loving it because he was always been a big Benteke fan.
You know what? Benteke was brilliant when he was at Villa, and he went to Liverpool, and he didn't do too bad at Liverpool. He just had his confidence knocked, and it's a shame because he was for Villa he was unbelievable. But I'm glad we ain't getting him. But
he just kept like. I think he scored something like 19 goals in 2 years or something.
Yeah,
2 seasons. Something like not not enough for your first choice striker.
I'd be surprised if it was that much, to be honest. But
I think he ain't had 19 shots in 2 seasons.
I know. I'll see his stat. I know it was.
He's scored 19 goals in the whole time he's played for Crystal Palace.
But the thing is, if you're paying that like and that's your striker leading the line. You're expecting at least double figures every season.
I mean, we had the next player. We had a chat about him last week, so I want to know Russ's thoughts on this. We see pictures of him laughing along with Declan Rice and Jesse Lingard on international duty the other day. Marko Arnautovic, Russ, would you take him back?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would, and I, if we had and I've always said, if we had a 2018 Marko Arnautovic, we'd be in the Champions League next year, no problem at all. He's for the Moyes system, and this is just my opinion. For the Moyes system, he's the perfect striker for the Moyes system because he can hold it up. He's a nasty bastard, so he'll run up and down and barge people and laugh in their faces and all that type of stuff. He's got skill on him as well, and he's got a turn of pace. And if you give him a chance, he will score. Now, and I was totally against it until obviously I listened to the Mark Noble, Peter Crouch podcast. And he says, he still chats. And then you see Declan, and there's that video clip of him, Dec, and Jesse having a chuckle on the pitch pre-match. If he comes and it's not, and for someone like Marko, I'd get him back, but I'd get him back on a performance-based pay. Do you know what I mean? He left because he needed money, basically. That's part of the reason. He needed the money. He was in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
So I think if he wants to come back, I think he'll be not as the main striker because I think he's too old, but to be the main striker. But I think he's still a great player. And if it's that's what Moyes wants to do, again, we trust in him. I didn't when Jesse Lingard, all that stuff came, and I was thinking, really? Everyone was like, really? You want Jesse Lingard? He's like this little shit, and but he proved us all wrong, and I think he did the same with Marko personally. But
Stephen's saying now that his heart says no, head says yes. It's great in the change room, pal. He just needs to leave his brother. Tell his brother. Leave his brother in China.
I agree with Stephen. That's what I heard. His brother was behind a lot of it.
Yeah, I don't think we'll have them problems this time around, though, because of his age, I can't see him trying to leverage. There's no bigger move he can get. There's no move for more money at this point. I think this is it. This would be his last big move. So I can't see them issues.
I think my feelings on that of it. Look, as a player, I can't knock him, and I loved him at West Ham, but I just think it's what he done. He turned his back on us, and when we needed him, he come out with that stupid video that when we just lost Wimbledon, the cup.
That wasn't his fault, though. That wasn't his fault.
That was the media team's fault. They timed that wrong, didn't they? They obviously thought we was going to go there and win. Everyone was going to be happy. Then they released that And I don't know. And then I see him. I was there at Tottenham when we beat him at the stadium, and he come over and he was like doing that to the crowd. And I thought, yeah, do you know what? He might stay. And then he just left. And I think, I don't know.
Do you know what the thing? If he needed money, like just say it. But it's when he come out, I want to go there and win trophies, and you're like, come on.
No one goes to China.
Russ, you said you listened to the Peter Crouch podcast, yeah?
Yeah.
I listened to it as well. And even Peter Crouch said when he was at Stoke, and out of it, used to say he wanted to play in China.
Yes, yeah, he did. Yeah.
It might have been his dream. I can't see it being his dream.
Yeah, he did say it. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, that's fair play. You know, he achieved his dream, and now he can come back.
Yeah.
A lot of people are asking us about that. Alex, is it Alex Kroll?
Oh,
Yeah.
Alex Kroll, yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? I was doing my head in a bit that story, because it's like 1 minute he's agreed, and everything. He's agreed a fee with the club. He's agreed wages, whatever. We've just got to agree the fee with Spartak Moscow. Then it's, oh no, Moyes don't fancy him, and it's off, and you know he doesn't need any more. The only midfielder he needs is Lingard, and it's just like, this is the thing that winds me up about the transfer window. It's all these contradicting stories, and we have to try and keep up. I know a lot of people are asking us, "Oh, have you heard if we're getting Daka or if we're getting that?" I don't know. Until they're in the shirt, I have no flipping idea. All we can say is if we think they'd be good or not.
Dan, you know, I mean, you'll know this firsthand with your cousin Matt. Like, you know, they probably get so many sort of rumours and stories coming through their, like, across their desk in the course of the day. It's hard to know.
I mean, some of these people don't even have discs. Some of them are like, 18-year-olds in their bedroom and that,
Well, I think it is. And I think people just retweet stuff they've seen.
You know what? Right? It's funny enough. I see there's a Twitter page, and it was put up today. It's 15,000 days since West Ham last won the major trophy, and I'm like, fucking hell, that's bad. That's bad.
It's got to be a Spurs man who's made that, surely.
Interesting one. Andre Ayew got released today.
I tell you, who's on the release list as well. Fernandinho is currently on the release list.
What, from City?
Gee,
I just saw that. But that doesn't mean he might sign a new deal, because that's what I think he's going to sign a 1-year deal. But at the moment, he's on the release list.
But Everton released a few players today as well, didn't they? Walker, Lassie, Josh King.
Josh King played like 30 seconds for Everton, didn't he?
Yeah, and he nearly scored against us. He hit the post.
That would have been.
That was that, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, I think at this point, in January, when we was desperate, I would have took him on loan in January just out of desperation of something, an option. But now we've got the summer, we've got time to really, even though he would be on a free, I think we've got time to really consider and find some options and maybe some bargains from other leagues. Moyes
is probably he's probably sort of got a few players in mind from Europe and that, like he did with Soufal and that. He's probably got a couple of little undiscovered gems in the pipeline.
We was linked a lot with.
That's what we like, though. That's what we like, isn't it? We like, it's great that you can spend £40 million a player or 20. Yeah, but for us, it's like getting these gems and going and just seeing them develop. And very, very, very rarely in recent years have we bought players and made a profit on them. It's not about needing to sell them, but we can, and so like you look at Soufal and Souček, and you're doubling Bowen, you're doubling your money on these kids already. Quadrupling easily on Soufal rather. And so if it means you go to get some, like this young lad from Chelsea, we're apparently getting 16-year-old Pierre something.
We signed a boy from Reading as well, didn't we?
Yeah, the young lad from Reading. I think that's what we need to do. And if they don't turn up, if they're not great, then you bought them for $1 million, you'll flip them for 2 million, 3 million. So you haven't lost anything. So for us that's more exciting. Getting particularly recently getting everything that's come through.
Mark's got a question here for us. We really do need to strengthen. How many players do you think we need, and how much do you think the owners will spend?
How many players?
Take away Balbuena's just gone as well.
Yeah.
That's an extra one. I think we need cover in every position.
I think at least 4 or 5. I see.
I'd say 5 or 6 minimum, because I'd say we need one, probably 2 strikers.
Yeah, we need 2 strikers. Definitely need 2 strikers. We need 2 strikers, maybe a centre back, a left back,
and a CDM,
a goalkeeper as back up to Fabianski.
Yeah.
What about I forgot his name now. It's gone out of my fucking head. Oh, Olivier Giroud's apparently on a free. Great.
I think he's just signed for Chelsea. He's re-signed for Chelsea. I think today.
Well, scrap that. Scrap that.
I would have taken him.
I like you. I think we should have signed him 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
That would have been nice.
I was going to say, if we could have got him on a free, his European record is unbelievable. So I definitely would have taken that for 1 or 2 seasons.
For free.
But if he's signed for Chelsea, then...
I think he's re-signed for him today, I think. Someone in the chat will know, that's for sure.
Fuck him.
Quick interjection, quickly. Chris wants to know if we're still selling WHFTV pint glasses. Are we? Does anyone know that?
Do you know what? I think we are going to be ordering some more. I don't think we've got any left, but we will be doing a new batch. And I think we're going to do a Friday night pint one as well. So it's an option of either post-match pint or Friday night pint. So, or you can have Sunday dinner on it if you want. We'll do some requests. But yeah, we will be getting more, and they'll be going up very, very soon.
But it's going to be. Do you know what the worst thing I think about the transfer window is going to be the old Declan Rice saga? I tweeted out. I was, you click through and there was an article and it was what Mason Mount said about Rice. And I'm like, oh, here we go. He said he should come and play for Chelsea. And it was like, who's in your ultimate team? And you ain't put Rice in your ultimate team. He's like, nah, his rating on FIFA is not that great. So I put this legend. He was like, yeah, so he said that, but that could all change if he signs for Chelsea in the summer. And it's like, what? How have you turned something about FIFA to this big story about Declan Rice going to to Chelsea? And it's ridiculous how they twist it. But that's what we're going to have to put up with.
I'll be honest with you, I can't see Declan going anywhere, especially not this summer.
Do you know what makes me laugh as well? You get all these Man United fans and Chelsea fans negotiating with us, the fans, like we're the club. Would you take 50 million and Tammy Abraham for Rice? Would you take 30 million and John flipping, what's his name? Phil Jones for Declan Rice? It's every time.
To be honest, if they offered me 30 million and Phil Jones, I'd just take the 30 million.
You keep Phil Jones. Yeah, that's what we're going to have to deal with, isn't it? And it's a good thing and a bad thing, really. It's good that your players are talked about, and Declan Rice is an unbelievable player. You see it the other night for England. It was even a friendly, and just how calm he is on the ball. And I think that's why. Scott picked him last week, didn't he, for his most improved player of the season. And I think that the reason why he's most improved is because he is an international football player now, and he plays with his better players when he goes away, and he plays in these big international games. And I can't wait to see him. We're going to talk about the Euros in a little while, but I can't wait to see him starting for England and hopefully doing us proud. Hate to say it, like what Pint did when he went to the Euros for us. He put our name on the map. Then he fucked us off. So let's hope that he upset my Slaven. I don't like that. I just have to put this out. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Read earlier, we might sign Sanchez, Alexander.
I read a report. I did read a report today.
I read that as well.
He was on what? 250 grand? No, 500 grand a week at Man United, wasn't he? He was on £500,000 a week. He would need a massive wage.
He ain't going to get that with us.
No, jeez. You maybe if he's on a free, you just go, he's a lump sum. He's 10 million, at 10 million, and then we'll pay you this smaller wage or something. You give him a signing on bonus, or something. But I can't see it. I don't even know. Look, he's a great player, but I don't know whether if he's just on the decline.
It's like old West Ham, isn't it? It's like the old West Ham where we would, it's funny how we sort of, when they're talking in the January, we're going to looking at Costa and even Giroud. I think some people turn their nose up to it. It's the same thing like with Alexis Sanchez. It's buying these big time Charlies. You're not going to get no return on investment on them anymore now. So that Sanchez can be his last move. Then maybe he'll go back to Chile. You're not going to get any money on him. I mean, if he comes and he's brilliant, fair play. But I'd rather us reinvest the money in someone else.
No, like Russ. It's probably Carlos Sanchez.
He'll be back at Watford. I think he's still signed. He's signed with Watford again. So we'll see him back at understanding next year.
Jay's got a hypothetical for us. If Moyes does leave West Ham, which we don't think he will, who would you be your ideal replacement manager? I feel like I know what Ryan's one would be, and I'm trying to work out my one. I think Ryan would say Scott Parker. I feel like you would like Scott Parker.
I do like Scott Parker, but I wouldn't want him. I think it's too big of a job for him at the moment.
Zidane's out of a job.
Yeah.
I'd probably like.
I'd get Pint as a manager. He's better than Zidane, innit? That's how the song goes.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably Nuno would be a good shout. I like the way what he done with Wolves. I like the way he played football.
I do. In the same sort of. I don't think there's certain types of managers which work well at West Ham. Someone like Sean Dyche.
Yeah.
But in terms of that sort of just progression, I think if we get, the trouble is we chop and change so many management styles and football styles. What we have with Moyes sort of works at the moment. To go completely the other way, it might sort of derail us a little bit. You want I'd even have Kevin Nolan to get, just keep in, fair play.
What about Conte? Or Poch?
Oh, listen, could you imagine?
Imagine the Spurs fans if we got one of them too.
Yeah, or Poch.
Someone said, I mean, do you know what the thing is with Dyche? I'd be very interested to see what he could do with more resources. Yeah, because he's been very limited at Burnley. Yeah. And
he's done a fantastic job with him.
Yeah, he really has. For what he's had to work with, he has done a very good job.
Graham Potter as well, maybe.
But Potter, a lot of shouts in the comments for Graham Potter. He's obviously played some really good football with
what about Frank Jr.? Frank Lampard? Anyone?
Listen,
Frank, and then he could bring John Terry as his assistant manager.
As the quick boy.
Yeah, and Jermaine Defoe as his striking coach.
The fans would have to stop singing that 10 men couldn't carry Lampard song, and all of that. They'd have to stop. Could you imagine if?
And then we can get Paul Ince can coach the midfield.
Yeah, honestly. But no, I like the shout of Rafa Benitez.
He would be their number one, I reckon, if Moyes left. I think
the fume on Newcastle fans would just be priceless, because we was actually I think we were talking to Benitez before Pellegrini, if I remember rightly. I think that was a big
before Bilic as well. I think when we got Bilic.
I know we were sort of in the past people mentioned his name, but Eddie Howe's out of work still, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He was with the Celtic job. I think that's a big risk, isn't it? Big gamble, that one. It's a very, very big gamble. I'm not too sure on Eddie Howe. I'd like to see him go somewhere else to see what he can do somewhere else.
I think Eddie Howe's been linked with Everton as well and Crystal Palace. So would you rather buy Ayew and give him a few games or give Odi Becco a chance?
I'd rather
Becco.
I was one of the few people that backed Ayew. I was a big supporter of his when he was here. I thought he was given a bit of an unfair shake from the fans. But at this point in time, no. He was with Swansea, didn't he? They had an okay season. I don't know how many goals he scored, but he didn't really turn up. Wasn't able to help them get promoted. In that playoff.
Steven Gerrard, Stevie G.
No. Just because I still can't watch the 2000s. I haven't watched it since 2006.
Graham, he might win us the FA Cup as manager to say sorry.
That would be the ultimate, wouldn't it? If he brought it back as manager.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm really good. Your dreams in 06. Oh,
So Mark says, why is Eddie Howe a gamble? The reason why I think he's a gamble is, you can look at the job he did at Bournemouth, and he got him up and he got him promoted, a decent job, and he sort of kept him in the league for a few seasons. But sometimes, as I've said, sometimes that manager is just the right fit for that club. Yeah. And this is what Everton have learned time and time again. And sometimes when you just take that manager and you go, right, oh, they've done good, so let's just sign them, they've done good there, and not think about all these other variables, that becomes a bit of a gamble. I don't think we can expect, it's not like, oh, because he kept a smaller club like Bournemouth in the league for all those years, imagine what he could do with West Ham. I think that's the
thing. It goes back to, like you say about certain managers, certain clubs. Remember Mike Walker at Norwich in the early 90s? Yeah. Nearly won Norwich the league. Nearly got Everton relegated.
Well, someone just said there that Everton have had 8 managers in the last 5 years. Yeah. And bearing in mind, they had Moyes for 12 years? And it's a bit like Man United since Alex Ferguson's gone. How many managers they had?
Yeah. But Man United Moyes is the perfect example of what I'm saying, because Moyes was at Everton and he did a fantastic job with very little money. He was put into that Man United job and it just didn't fit. It didn't work out. He had much more resources, much more money, better players, and he wasn't able to make that progression. It didn't work out. And I think that could be the same for Howe. Mark Noble, that would be my ultimate dream is us to win a trophy.
I really do believe at some point he's going to end up being West Ham manager in the future.
Or with Jack Collison, who's just got the Atlantic United's second team job as well. Which is
massive,
cool,
that's a massive job for him.
That's a huge job.
Yeah, congratulations.
Do you know what? Ex-players as managers, it's a very sort of romantic idea, but the problem I have with that is you don't like to see things turn sour. Like Lampard, he ended up getting a lot of stick and it sort of tainted it a bit. And I was quite young at the time when Billy Bonds was manager. But I remember, when I went to the Billy Bonds night, he was getting quite a lot of stick from the fans, and they used to give him a bit of abuse, bit of stick, and that's one of our greatest legends. So imagine if he can get it.
It was all the stick was aimed at the ball because of the Bond scheme.
No, I think it was, it was what he was saying at the time. There was certain sections of the crowd. He would hear it while he was on the touchline. He would shout, "What you do?" And give him some.
I think we all sit there in the stands. We're all managers, in we can all sit there and say, "Yeah, do this, do that." But Steve's just giving me a bit of West Ham porn there, mate. The Canio and Noble. Oh, imagine that.
Oh. I've been saying the Canio, right? Is he? Listen, I thought he was treated really poorly by Sunderland. I thought he did a good job everywhere he went. He got what was it? Was it Swindon?
Yeah.
Didn't he get back-to-back promotions with Swindon? And then with Sunderland, he came in and I thought he did a good job with Sunderland. But the problem with Sunderland is they didn't want him. They didn't want him to, be able to do what he wanted to do and have his control. They wanted to do things their way. They didn't want to give him the resources. Players were fighting back against him for some of the things he wanted to do and, redo their diets and stuff. But I thought
the only time I ever thought that the Canio would be perfect for our club was the Avram Grant season when there was about 10 games to go.
Yeah, that's when
bring him in just to get the crowd back on side and maybe get a few results and try to get out of it, because I think he would have lifted the crowd. Just standing on that touchline on the bowling, because I remember. Do you remember when Sunderland beat Newcastle at St James's Park and he slid on his knees and he?
Yeah. You're right. That won 3-0 or something. Then I remember him just running down the line doing a knee slide.
I just think he's a better manager than people give him credit for. I really think.
I think your favourite player scored that day, Gray. Adam Johnson scored a screamer. Anyway, any more transfers you can think of? Russ, is there anything you can think of, mate, you want to talk about?
You heard anything around the stadium, have you, Russ? You heard any little rumours?
Nothing around the stadium, mate.
Everyone keeps asking about Daka. Does anyone know anything about Daka?
He's rapid. The boy's rapid. I think he might end up going to Liverpool, but he's rapid. I would like him, But I think he might be going to Leipzig though as well potentially. But Daka, who else? Who else does I see today? Ben Cabango from Swansea. Now he's a guy I like, 22, British English defender. In this, a good defender. I wouldn't mind him. But yeah, I mean, we don't know. We haven't got a manager really, so we can't be signing players until until he sort of starts really.
Down. Quick question for you guys, because I see Chris has put this up. But I want to know your thoughts on this. Chris says, "I've lost all respect for Joe Cole after last week's Champions League reaction, way over the top." Now, so basically, when they won, he was jubilantly celebrating, and a lot of West Ham fans felt a bit betrayed, a bit let down because of his celebrations. I don't see a problem with it.
Look, at the end of the day, he grew up a Chelsea fan. He's a Chelsea fan. He played for the club. He won league titles with them. He won the FA Cup. It's obviously for us, we still see Joe Cole as one of our own because he come for our youth, and it is difficult. But I can imagine Joe Cole doing exactly the same for us if we was in it.
Yeah, totally. If you ask Joe Cole what teams he supports, West Ham and Chelsea, will say. I asked Scott Minto the same question, and he supports West Ham and Chelsea. It's and when you interview loads of players, I mean, you guys know the same. Doesn't matter where they play. They might play 4 or 5 teams. They're the 4 or 5 teams they'll follow if they had a good time at that club. And I think we have this romantic view of footballers, one-man clubs. That doesn't happen no more. People play for 3 or 4 clubs in their career.
He spent the bulk of his career at Chelsea.
Yeah,
like his first team career. So obviously he's gonna celebrate their successes, isn't he? But like Ryan said, I'm sure if he was commentating them if we got to the FA Cup final, we won the cup. If
in Rio, they would all do it. Rio would happen.
I think it's you got to take into the moment as well, because they've just beat Man City. It's Man City were favourites to win it. They've just won the Champions League, and there was a lot of young English talent out there. And as I said, he was a fan growing up. So it's horrible to see. But then I suppose Chelsea fans might have got the ump when they see Joe Cole kissing the West Ham badge when he was playing for us. And
same as Colton Cole. Do you remember Colton Cole? Like when he was basically on Twitter, sort of basically saying how I think we were playing Chelsea, and he was like loving it that West Ham won, and everyone's it's just I mean, you play for
Colton Cole. I think he's. I don't think he's got double loyalties with Chelsea and West Ham. I think he's full on West Ham now. He's one of them. He's been converted, and it's one of them. Like I said, Trevor Sinclair is Man City and West Ham. Ian Bishop, Man City, West Ham. And I don't think people have a problem with them. It's because it's Chelsea. It's because it's Chelsea that I think is upset people. And if it was another club, people wouldn't have too much of a problem.
True.
But it's one of those things. If it would have been, imagine if it had been like Spurs or something, that would have been that's it. You better.
I mean, you like you say, if it was Man U, like Rio would have been celebrating, because he spent the bulk of his professional career at Man U. So, but likewise, if West Ham won a trophy, he'd probably be just as happy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. So fair. I cheered when West Ham qualified for Europe, but I'm a Leeds fan. Doesn't make me any less of a Leeds fan. Yeah. No. Like sometimes there's clubs you just want to see succeed. But yeah, it makes sense. Some players have loads of clubs, like Russ was saying.
Steve saying there, McAvenny, Celtic and West Ham.
And St Mirren as well. And St Mirren as well. He's big fans of as well. So.
Yeah. Do you remember when we met Razor Ruddock? And he had, me and Ryan, we was talking to him. I can't remember if it was, I think it's before we started. And he's showing us, he had Liverpool tattoo, Millwall tattoo, Spurs tattoo.
He had You'll Never Walk Alone. He had Today No One Likes Us. And I said to him, oi, where's your West Ham one? And he was like, I'll get one. I thought, of course you will.
But in his house, he's got he has got loads of frames.
He's got loads of West Ham stuff, isn't he? So
it's like Shaka Hislop. When we interviewed Shaka, he had a West Ham t-shirt on, but behind him he had a massive Newcastle crest on the wall behind him. And I think he had a Reading one as well. So it's sort of like, it's it seems strange, but it's just football. That's why the 4 of us are on a YouTube channel and not, training for the Euros, isn't it? It's just we have a different opinion.
Well, saying
Or
that,
maybe I am.
Russ, I think
Right.
we better talk a little bit about the Euros
Nice
as it does
segue.
start next week. And I'm officially announcing my retirement for international football because that's 10 tournaments I've been overlooked for now. And yeah, I tried to give Southgate one more chance to call me up, and then I'm not going to. I might hold out for the World Cup. I'll only be. How old will I be in it? I'll be 38, so still young.
How old's Ryan?
But yeah,
if everyone else in the country gets food poisoning except you, then
yeah.
that's it.
You know what? I can't believe it only feels like the season ended like yesterday, and now it's next week. The Euros start on the Friday. We play obviously on the Sunday, England against Croatia, 2:00 kickoff. I don't know about you, but I'm finding it hard at the moment to get up for it. I suppose once it starts, I'll be more up for it. But I watched England the other night, and I know they're pointless friendlies. I mean, we play this Sunday against Romania, which will be another test, and I think whoever he starts in that game, that'll be the closest to what he's going to start against Croatia. So, do you think we'll win it, Russ? Can we win it?
Well, do you know, I'm the same as you. Honestly, I'm such a fair weather England fan. When they're on telly, like in the Nations Leagues and the friendlies, I don't watch them. I just find them a bit but as soon as the tournament, I'm a proper turncoat. I'll be flag out the window, all that. So I think
I'm the opposite, right? I actually do watch every England game. Yeah. I have done since I was a kid, and I forced myself. I'm finding myself forcing myself to watch them now, but I still watch them because I've always been an England fan. I love my country. I want to see us do well. I mean, I know a lot of people can't get behind like Spurs players and things like that. And listen, when they put that England shirt on, I don't care who they play for.
No,
that don't bother me. I'm not
the England shirts on. They've got the 3 lions on. Don't matter who they play for.
We've got a good enough chance, I think.
We're going to be all right down the right. It's the left I'm worrying about.
Didn't Trent get injured though?
Yeah,
so he might be another space for
I think that might have opened the door for Jesse Lingard to come in. So I think Southgate was impressed with Lingard the other night. He played really well, but he might bring in.
Isn't Henderson out of? He's been ruled out of the first game. I reckon of the Euros in terms he won't be fit for like Jordan Henderson. So why is he? And I just find it contradictory in terms of what Southgate was saying. So I think we've got a good chance. Good enough chance.
I think forward. Go on, Grace.
Go on, my son. No, I was just going to say, I think we've got a good shout. I think France are going to be the team.
Yeah, France are the favourites. Germany don't look that good, but they always seem to get to the semis at least, don't they? I think England. I'll be disappointed if England don't make the semi-finals. I think we've got home advantage as well. It's gonna be tough, but going forward, we've got some talent in that team.
Yeah.
I guess that.
I knew we get 5 on us. 5 of us on.
Yeah, we get 5 of us on it. Yeah.
He's got to go, isn't he? Though I think if England don't make semi-final, then Southgate's got to.
With the quality we've got as well.
Yeah.
I mean, attacking quality, particularly not so much as the defence as Rice, particularly on the left, but up front and midfield, best some of the best players in Europe we've got.
Yeah, it's hard to pick the starting lineup. I mean, the defence sort of picks itself at the moment because that's if Harry Maguire's fit. That's what worries me is because Harry Maguire is our best defender, and if he's injured and he misses the first 2 games, by the time he comes back, if we lose them first 2 games, then we're out of the tournament. But going forward, I mean, it's hard to pick your starting lineup, but like your forwards. I mean, Harry Kane. But then who do you play around him? I mean, Phil Foden, you got Rashford, you got Grealish, you got Sancho, you got Bellingham. It's crazy. It's crazy. But the way Jack Grealish played the other night, he could be in contention to start for England.
Yeah, so Shine G says Lingard and Grealish together would cause people trouble.
And I'm very surprised, and I'm not just saying it because obviously he was at West Ham, but the way Lingard played, I'm very surprised that he left him out just to have him. Because Southgate must have looked at Lingard and thought, right, with his age, this is probably his last tournament. And he done so well for us in the World Cup, and just having someone around the squad, like him around the squad would have been a benefit. But I'm hoping he'll get that call up now that Trent Alexander-Arnold's out.
Yeah, it was very, very weird, wasn't it?
Well,
You know, with the 4 right backs taken, and
And then to start Lingard in that game, Lingard in that game because it fitted the system. It was like, well, that's what you want to do. You want to have players who fit a system. So what system are you going to be playing if Lingard's not playing? It was bizarre.
I read saying since January, only Kane scored more goals in the league than Lingard. So what, it just doesn't make. Maybe I'm just being biased because he plays for us, but
Casey saying that the dog wanted more TV time.
Yeah, she's fucked off now.
I think the dog said more than what Graham has tonight.
Cheek of it. The cheek of it.
We love you, Graham.
Lingard did get the assist, didn't he?
Sorry,
Dom's
mate.
it. Dom gives you. That's all right.
Yes, Russ. Sorry, Russ.
Yes, Dom.
Yeah. No, I didn't. Yeah, Lingard did get the assist, didn't he, for Saka? Yeah, so he's got an assist. So, do you know what? I tell you, if this does mean he gets called up now to the Euros, we need to try and sign him before that tournament happens. Because if he goes and sets the tournament on fire, that price tag is going to go right up. So we need to try and get this done ASAP.
Yeah, I think we will sign him next season. I really think we will. I think from what I see, he looked happy at West Ham, and I think it's in his hands really. Because and do you know what? There might even be a deal where we could loan him back for the season and then get him on a free next season. But
that was one thing that something said. There was a news report today that Man United were thinking about sending him out on loan again. So if they send him out on loan, then it's going to be a free transfer at the end of that week.
So why not take 20 million or something?
Don't get
a little bit of money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, weird. I think that seems to be
20 mil would be a bargain. In my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. Dan Sam, what do you boys think of Jude Bellingham? Proper baller, was superb the other night.
Good player.
Yeah, he is. 17 years old as well. Crazy, isn't it? 17 years old. I was trying to sneak into the village wine bar down Barking Road. This boy's going to a Euros.
Yes, it's just you just hope that they can proper develop and become maintain that throughout their career, that quality. Sometimes you get players where they look like really bright sparks when they're young, and then it just doesn't happen. You know what I mean for them, and so it's going to be. I like tournaments. I'm not a big international football fan when it comes to friendlies and qualifiers. Like Russ was saying, I'm no interest. As soon as the tournament comes, I'm all hyped for it. Trying to watch every single game go in, and I haven't even seen what the group's been announced or anything like that. No, nothing like that's been.
What the groups we're in?
Yeah,
that was announced months ago.
That's how disconnected I am from it.
We've got Scotland, Croatia, and the Czech Republic. So we'll be playing against Suchek and Sufal.
Yeah,
jeez.
Rice and Suchek would be a good battle in the middle there.
And obviously we're playing against England's reserve, Scotland. So
man, that's going to be mad.
Can we ban Roy May Jr. because he's just like wound me right up there. He's going to Vegas for a long weekend.
Roy, why would you do that? Why would you say that?
No, Roy, listen, mate.
Have
a great weekend, mate. I love Las Vegas. I can't wait to go back there. I've seen all the videos lately of all the pool parties, and Vegas looks back to normal. And you know what? It's about 35 out there at the moment. So enjoy your long weekend, mate.
I might be down there next year. Your mate's 40.
Go to the New York hotel and the bar called Coyote Ugly. That's a good old bar.
Tell him Ryan sent you.
Tell Ryan sent you. Tell him Ryan sent you. You get a slap.
I mean, I don't know how long because he lives in Texas, doesn't he? So he has to go from Texas to. So I don't know how far.
That's a fair flight, though.
It's probably about a 6-hour flight or something like that.
Probably, yeah.
Bloody hell, man! That's how big a country.
America's so big. Literally. I worked loads in America, and to go from East Coast to West Coast, it was like a 9-10 hour flight.
Crazy, isn't it? You think like the state of Florida is bigger than England?
Mental, isn't it?
That's what I really like living in a smaller country like this, you know, where you can, like, to me, like when we go like Manchester or Newcastle away, it's like, oh, fucking 5-hour drive. Oh, jeez. America, that's like nothing. That's like normal for Americans. Like,
Yeah.
Could you imagine like the NFL away days?
Just down at the road.
but yeah, but that's it. Like, I don't know what the away fan culture is in sports over there.
It's
I don't
really
think
weird.
they really do
Yeah.
like away fans in the
Football,
NFL.
I
and
do.
that.
Soccer, MLS.
Yeah,
'cause
soccer,
I went to see a few
Really?
Red Bull games. Yeah, I went to see because I went to see. I remember going to see one game and it was Red Bull versus Atlanta, and Atlanta had like a proper section, like a proper away section, which I've never seen before. Because it tends to be, you know, it tends to be like, I don't know, if it's basketball or the baseball, it tends to be people who live in that area who are Cleveland fans will turn up, not necessarily Cleveland fans all coming over to New York to watch the game. So
don't they split it up? They have like, you know, an East division and a West division, and then like the top teams of that go into the playoffs of those East and West. So you're not really going to have to travel to the other side of the country. You're gonna it's all going to be the East, and then you're going to go to West, and then it's for the big finals or whatever.
It's how it works. Yeah, it's how it works. And but it's just weird. Obviously, no relegation, no promotion, all that type of stuff.
In Texas, they've got no away culture.
No away culture.
Yes. I mean, Texas itself is bloody huge, isn't it? Can you imagine just going to teams in and around Texas would be a fucking pain in the ass. Like, we're spoiled, really, aren't we? We're really spoiled.
I mean, going back to the Euros quickly, England plays Scotland on the Friday night, 8:00 kickoff. That's going to be. I don't think there'll be a Friday night pint that Friday.
Not a Friday night watch along. Not a Friday night pint watch along.
I couldn't handle it.
Birthday that night as well.
It's your channel. It's not my channel.
yeah.
Honestly, Russ, when I watch England, man, I get so fucking like, especially in tournaments. I just want us. I always want us to do well because
I'll tell you where there is. There's a good night. I don't know where. I think it's in Grays. It's McAvenny and Mark Ward are doing a watch along.
I see that. That's in Hornchurch. I think that's sold out. It's in.
No, it's not the Hornchurch. No, it's not the Hornchurch one. It's in. I think it's another one. It's in Grays. I think Hornchurch one's 26th of July. It's a June rather. It's sold out. But yeah,
Hey, mate.
Just up the road from you.
With a little bit of luck, we can make it through the night. Graham, you got anything you want to talk about, mate, before we go into Ask Us Anything? Russ, you want to play, mate, or do you need to slip?
I'm all right.
It's Friday night, innit? That's it. Look, get that down your neck. Go on, son.
Go on, son. Good job. Rabbit. Flows well into Chaz and Dave for some reason at the moment. It's really funny. I just put it on the car. So funny.
I'll tell you what, he fucking cracks me up, Don, because every time he tweets me or something, we always put Sari, the manager. And this is a story. I can't remember how it come around. I think it was something to do with his mate Charlie. And they just went, sorry. And every time I see him, he just goes, sorry. Fucking cracks me up.
I always keep thinking you used to try and sing Tracy Chapman. You know,
I'm sure it was something to do with his mate Charlie. And so it was someone said sorry to him, but it was the way they said it. And it was like they went, sorry. And ever since then, they've just carried it on. It's been going on for about 4 or 5 years now.
Oh, bloody hell. So are we asking us anything?
Yeah, let's crack on. Let's get so come on, everyone, get your questions in. Anything you want to ask us. If you want to ask Russ anything about being a match day DJ, you can do that. Sure. If you want to ask anyone about Russ about his My Hammers 11.
It was funny when Jace done the My Hammers 11. You know, he's asking about. He's like, "Sorry, can I just ask you some questions?" Jason turned it around him about how do you do this?
No. The first question was, do you get fed?
Do you get fed? Yeah, who would
get fed? Do you get food? Bless Jace. First question: do you get fed? The answer was no.
Yeah. Here's one, Miss Hammerette. Best song reaction you get, Russ?
Sweet Caroline.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes. Sweet Caroline, without a doubt. You know, it's particularly this season as well, because obviously there's only 10,000 people. But, you know, and the club did loads of, like, videos about people, like the players walking around the pitch at the end. And Dec was singing along to it. And I think Souček and Soufal were trying to understand the words. And, yeah, that's the best reaction. Apart from Bubbles, obviously. Apart from other than Bubbles. It's got to be, that one. Simple.
Yeah, it's an easy sing-along one, isn't it?
Easy.
A very easy sing-along. That one. So no, it's man. Like, because you said you've been doing it for like how long? Since
20 years. Yes, my 20th year. Yeah, so my first season was the first season of the Rio stand. So so that was I think that was 2000, might be 2000, 2001 or 2001. I think it's my 20th season this season. So yeah, pretty mad.
The club going to give you anything for it? Little statue out
really is West
I've got a double testimonial. We're playing Real Madrid. They didn't give one to James Collins, but they gave one to me.
Calvin Harris in your testimonial.
See, with madness, do you think they're more because obviously Soapsy's a Chelsea fan? Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
You've got to be really careful with those things. So it's like, don't play in sometimes it's even more obscure, but playing Oasis, Man City, Brighton, Fatboy Slim. There's certain ones you got to be the weirdest request. Right, okay, here we go. This is a good one. Right. And you talk about managers wanting to look after, run everything in the club. So when we had Pardew as manager, Pardew every game would bring me and Jeremy at the time into his little manager's office at Upton Park, and he'd always ask us what songs we're playing, what songs you're playing. He wanted to know everything. Every week it was almost like a joke, and he was like, "Russ, you couldn't play a bit of Frank Sinatra, could you?" I was, No. And then he said, right, and he came back after the summer. It must have been after he won the FA Cup. That summer he came back. He went, right, I've had an idea. He went to Florida and he went to SeaWorld. And they used to do this thing where they would zoom in on a fan, someone in the crowd of the Shamu show, wherever it was, ask them a question about Shamu, and they had to put fingers up to say if it was answer 1, 2, or 3. He said, we should do that. At half time, you zoom in on a fan and ask them to put 1 finger up, 2 fingers up, or 3 fingers up. And I was like, 1, 2. He went, yeah, fair enough. That was the weirdest request ever.
Wasn't Alan Pardew the first manager to, you might be able to tell me this, Russ, that stops bubbles halfway through?
No. That was me and Jem. We did that.
Was it? Did you do that for the semi-final, the playoffs against Ipswich?
We used to do it for a long time, but I think it's just everyone remembers that Ipswich game for being.
Yeah, because you remember we had the marching band as well that game.
We used to do the post. I remember it. The post Gallup horn thing.
That still gives me goosebumps.
Before your time, Gary, to be honest. But
that still gives me goosebumps that night when I think of that Ipswich game. It was just mental.
That was you who came up with that.
Yeah, me and Jem. But I've got another great one, another Alan Pardew story, because he's the best one, to be honest. He went to see the Rat Pack live at the Savoy Theatre. He then went backstage and hired Dean Martin to come and sing pre-match the next home game. But Dean Martin didn't know any of the words, so I'm forever blowing bubbles. So he sort of did a skip it throughout the whole of the show. It was brilliant. Yeah. So, are you restricted to what you play? Can you play something? Yeah, we've got to be careful. So, like, particularly now, so during the lockdown, we didn't play. So when you heard all the crowd noise, obviously that was done through the broadcasters. We couldn't play anything. You can't play any music during the match, obviously. We played goal music to give the players something to celebrate with. But you have to be you got to be careful. So I couldn't I remember we played Millwall. Remember we had that big riot? Do you remember in the cup? When Zabon scored and Jax Collison's dad had died like the week before the Tottenham game, and after the game, the police went through and listened every song that I played to make sure we wasn't inciting violence by doing things like 2 tribes go to war, I predict a riot, anything. You've got to be really careful, careful.
Yeah.
I'd love nothing more though, Russ, to beat Tottenham 1-0 at the London Stadium, then you play when Tottenham fucked it up.
Exactly. You just imagine it. Like, yeah.
This is a question, and just out of interest for me and things, it's just like, so say for instance, you want to play when you start playing like the wrestling themes this season.
Yeah.
And you decide do you just play it, or have you got to go through legal? You got to get permission, copyright,
not during half time and stuff. So anything sort of pre-match, half time, after game is not in the performance. So you don't need to get the musician rights and stuff like that. I've been doing the wrestling stuff for a while, but it might be because I think Arsenal picked it up, and obviously I've become really good friends with the Arsenal DJ now, a guy called Pete. He's a top bloke, and then I think the Everton match day DJ did it as well, and then the club came to, and then they obviously saw the fact that we played. BT picked up on it. I think that was part of the reason, because obviously BT Sport are now doing the wrestling. They were more tuned into it because they were doing the football as well, So if the club would say, "Oh, can you play Kofi Kingston?" Because he had a picture of him as a West Ham shirt. So we do that type of stuff. But we can sort of have.
Do they have PR? So do they have like this is a technical like PRS? You just pay your PRS fee and that covers it.
Yeah. I think that's basically what the club do. But
Russ, have you ever taken your decks to an away ground and running their DJ out of his
just
box?
just go in, just go in,
take over their DJ. Listen, I have to say, sorry. Listen, I've got to tell you this, Russ. I don't like twist and shout, mate. I don't like it. Just for me, can we just imagine that? I mean, just for me, just stop playing it.
I don't know what, Russ. Play it twice now and louder.
And this one's for Dan Lawless.
Yeah, I just hate the song. I understand its significance with West Ham, but I think it's a horrible song.
I think Russell, turn it up to 11 next time, Dan.
Yeah, exactly.
I have to say, I think Miss Amaret is insulting Russ here. He says Russ has taken over from Nicky with the stories. Don't compare Russ's stories to Russ's stories. They get to the point.
Yeah, in and out. Has Nicky finished that Poland story yet?
Do you know what? I think
he's still on that.
Where is it? My mate, he loves watching this show. Taylor, he's probably watching now. Good mate of mine. He always makes little pictures up what things we talk about, and he sent me this after that Poland story.
Yeah.
It's the tumble.
That is, I honestly, when I listen to Russ's stories, you're like, oh, really? This, but Nicky, he's
you probably heard him with Nicky though before.
Well, I've heard the Poland story, but it was like you're like, where's the... Oh yeah, that's thankfully he can't because it's a Man City song. So
if we play Man City, I don't play. But it's not saying because Oasis is a good, Race is a good band, but if we play Man City, I won't play any Oasis.
Yeah,
that's basically how it works.
What's your thoughts on goal music, Russ?
Not a fan.
No, I think when like what you've been doing this year when the stadiums are empty is good. Yeah, but I think when you go back to the grounds, I don't think I like hearing that roar of the crowd, the pure emotion.
Exactly, and that's what we'll do. I mean, I never wanted to play goal music. I think it's far too like American sport, like defense. But we played it, and it makes sense because otherwise there's no celebration when someone scores. And for me, it's the crowd noise. But the thing is, VAR ruined it. So you play it. And then even the players couldn't celebrate because you have to wait to the kickoff, and then you always got to play it again, type thing.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
The Chill Ghost Sam, what is the best game you've been to?
It's always a tough one, isn't it? Like,
for me, it was 90. Was it 94? 93-94 season. Tottenham away, we won 4-1. Steve Jones double.
Stevie Jones.
Good old Jonesy. For me, I don't know. It's a tough one, isn't it?
What is it like watching the games in the DJ? I mean, when's the last time you got to? Can you remember going into the crowd? Like normal, like going to go to a game like a normal fan.
Playoff at home. Well, not home. Obviously, I'll go to a couple of away games, but obviously it's not easy. With Flo as well. Eventually, I'll get her involved, but me and Flo have a weekend away. But in terms of the last game I watched, as probably as a fan, was probably the playoff final.
Wow! Do you miss it?
Then I was working really. But I was, in the crowd. That's what I go to women's games because the women's games are great because you feel like you're old school football again. So yeah.
Yeah. So you must, because where you're up there isolated, you know, in your tower, you must miss being amongst the, because every time when I've got like hospitality, like what's it in the box, like my cousin would take me into a box. It's like it's nice, but it's not the same as being in and amongst it all.
No, I mean the one saving grace with obviously the Southampton game was obviously there was fans in the stadium, so we weren't going to be playing goal music. So actually, I sat outside and watched the game outside the box with, although there was still only 10,000, but it was nice to feel that sort of connection because you're really immune to it. I remember the last game at the bowling, the production company who came in to do the like all the fireworks and the Ben Shepherd stuff, they kicked out all the windows to throw all the cables down because it was easier. And I could hear the crowd at Upton Park. And that's the first time I'd heard them for 15 years. And it was like, wow, what have I been missing? You know,
have you ever made a mistake, Russ?
Yeah. Loads.
What's the worst one you've made?
Right. So, okay. Well, one of them, I remember we played, it's like Jack and Ori. The one I remember particularly was I was announcing one day. I was doing the announcing, and it was a FA Cup quarter final against Nottingham Forest. It was my first time. This is many, many years ago, and I thought it's my one time to shine. So I thought, oh, do you know what? I'll do these little things, and I said, you know, if a player scored, I was going to give him like a little, not just goal for West Ham, 26 Joe Cole. I was going to do a proper little introduction, you know, like, and so Joe scored. And I was like, he always believes in his soul. It's number 26, Joe. And I forgot to take a breath. So he always believes in his soul. It's number 26, Joe. Oh. I think it was on Match of the Day. And I think I got some text. Joe. Yeah, I've always played the wrong song or you know, something happens. But yeah, I remember that one. And
There's nothing worse than when your voice breaks.
Oh,
nothing worse.
Such the wrong time, man.
Especially in front of a sellout crowd at Upton Park.
You can just imagine, absolutely rinse for that one.
Oh,
but yeah.
This is a question. Is Russ secretly Mr. Moon?
Well, no. Mr. Moon.
Come out.
No, Mr. Moon.
Why don't they do that at the London Stadium?
Because it's they don't need to do it now. It's all done through, you know. So yeah, Mr. Moon. And the one you had to watch out for was Brian Moon. Oh. Mr. Moon was a fire alarm. You know, someone had a fag in the toilets or whatever, and the fire. But Brian Moon was a bomb alert.
Bloody hell!
There we go. Just a little.
You know what?
Wall.
Could you bring it back, Mr. Moon thing? Like, just in case of the club. Look, which I'm just going to say it randomly throughout the game.
Yeah,
Mr.
you
Moon.
know what? I was just about to say, Dan, could you imagine the roar of the crowd if they'd done that just as a random one-off?
So
funny.
They would love it. They would honestly.
And as well, I want another request. I want Magic Sponge on the screen.
Do you know what? Do you know why I stopped doing that?
Super Sponge, it's Super Sponge.
Super Sponge.
Super Sponge. I remember that the last game was Kasaragi had broken his leg.
Oh yeah.
And then like this little fucking sponge turns up, and his career was over. I think they stopped it. Do you remember we used to have the Joker as well? We used when someone would miss a shot, like a picture of like a Joker would come up, like a clown rather, and like all that fun. I used to love all that stuff.
You don't have that anymore. Yeah.
No, everyone's too serious now. Why so serious?
Super Sponge, I used to love it because he'd be a player and rolling around the floor, and he'd come up on the screen, spin around, he'll have a cape on.
Roy says, what song gets requested the most that you can't stand?
I tell you what we used to do for a while. We used to ask the players to give us a track, which we used to play when they're doing the warm-ups.
They have terrible safety music.
Yeah, but also it's like they're all like, if they're grime songs or whatever, they've all got swearing in. We can't play any swearing songs, so we end up having to play like the worst selections. I think on our Twitch had a really weird selection of songs, but not really requests. I mean, most of the songs are all right. You know, it's like I don't get requested many of his songs anyway, to be honest.
I love that you get players again. Like, can we get a grime song? We can't play that, but we can play Sweet Caroline.
Exactly.
You get twist and shout just the same.
Yeah, honestly, is there any songs that you do play that you just have to like? Say, I hate Twist and Shout.
Yeah,
I would probably still play Twist and Shout because of West Ham and what it is, West Ham.
Yeah.
Do you have that? Like, I play this song, I don't like this. Are you allowed to say it? I don't like this song.
I mean, to be honest, there isn't. I mean, I was never a real fan of. Like, I think London's Calling got a bit lost in, bit diluted when everyone else started to play it. But we don't play it anymore now. No. That one was. I'd never used to like the. We used to do. What was it called? The Apprentice theme tune, the Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
Which Sunderland do. Never used to like that one, but we played that for a while. No, not really. I mean, most of the things are all right now. I mean, like, as I said, we've been doing it so long now; it's almost like a second nature now. You know,
what is the main pre-match song now? Because I mean, like, most of the time, I don't even make it for kickoff. So
yeah, well, I mean, we don't. I mean, what we do is it's like, because we, you know, it's sort of it's a double act between us, between the sort of the music and the guys on the big screen, and they're a company we've had there for years, called ADI, and they sort of pipe it. They're actually, the director who does all the videos is based in Preston. It's all fibered down. It's quite clever how they do it, but they do. It's sort of like, it's this sort of anthemic song. It used to be London's Calling, but now it's like nothing really. And then we do Bubbles, and we do Block Rocking Beats at the moment, because they have, like, the away team go out before the home team because of COVID. And then we play Kill Bill, you know, and then do the Kill Bill track with Martin does it with the team underneath. So it's not, you know, it's not that. It's more like, you know, pumpy songs, hype songs they play now.
Someone said Oliver said he loves the song.
I like Kill Bill song.
It's so what about Tom Jones? It's not unusual. I can't see.
Could you imagine Declan Rice coming out like that?
Exactly.
Or David Moyes.
That would unusual. That'd be brilliant, man. That'd be so cool.
No, that would be. Yeah, there's so many songs in it, and you have to, when you sit and you're thinking, oh, would this work or would that work? And
the worst one's when we lose, because, like, you don't want to. I mean, I would play like Adele, you know, or play like really like, but you can't play it how you feel, you know. So it has to be. I remember once you played something a little bit sort of like dancey. It was like just generic. And I remember Ginge walking past, someone goes, "Oh, we lost," and you're playing this, you know, stuff. And I was like, "Oh, what do you play?" And so then I ended up playing.
Why don't you play Always Look on the Bright Side of Life?
No, exactly. That's the thing. I'd love to be able to do that type of stuff, but I'd be out next week. That's the thing, isn't it? But,
is that what you're playing that for? Yeah, it's a tough one. So Mark says Upson Park in the early 70s, the whistle tune. What was its name?
I have no idea. I wasn't born.
That's Graham.
Mate, I went bomb till 76. Leave it out.
Oh, that's mid.
Fuck off. You had your 18th in 76.
I don't know how old you think I am, Ben.
No, but like,
it was all uphill on flat tires.
No, but your dad might have said, a few years ago we played this whistle.
Yeah, Ken Hammers is saying that the gaffer was loving Sweet Caroline last, and I think that's what you said earlier when he was in a good.
Well, Declan Rice was singing it, wasn't he? He was singing along.
Yeah. It's become a sort of that sort. It's become sort of not just where it's just an anthemic sports song now, isn't it? So it's like the darts. They play at the darts, and
see, I always associate it with boxing.
Yeah,
Caroline, because when Michael Buffer does that before the big fights, I mean, when he done it at the Klitschko Joshua fight at Wembley. It was mental. Even Froch and Groves at Wembley, you know, being there and everyone was just in that mood and, you know, singing Sweet Caroline. So I always associated with boxing more.
Yeah.
Michael said Iron Maiden. If we're talking about bands that are associated with clubs, I mean, Iron Maiden is probably one of the most associated with us.
We do play a bit of Run to the Hills or something like that.
Run to the Hills, that's a good one.
Yeah.
True.
Gary's saying I want a bit of EastEnders. That would be. Do you know what? That would be the perfect song when they walk out the tunnel. The EastEnders theme tune and then Into Bubbles.
I think you need to play at the end of the to find a whistle and it goes dun dun dun. Like that's the duff duff.
Or if it's a VAR decision or a VAR decision. I want, because originally one of the things they did suggest to us originally was they looking at putting music to the VAR, to keep, because obviously it can take a while. And I suggested the countdown theme tune, but it didn't get anywhere. So, boom.
That would be brilliant because I feel like it would maybe force them to worry up a bit. Like there's got to be some sort of shit. The countdown, quick! I've got to make it.
They should actually put timers on the officials to say, right, you got 30 seconds to make a decision, go. And they go, fuck it, no goal. Imagine the sweat pouring down their heads.
Oh, brilliant. It's so funny. Drawing lines over on the screen.
Yeah, it's. Have you ever, Sam says, have you ever randomly chucked in a song for your own pleasure, just to please yourself?
Yeah,
just for your own benefit.
Yeah, just like it's anything. It's something, as you said. You know, you listen to people listen to music all the time. It might be a good song, and it might not be a good song, but you're happy that you played it. And so it might be like we had, so obviously we had D Part the rapper. We had the Declan Rice song. He asked me if I could play it, and I did. He was very happy about that. And I started the wrestling theme tunes. I started to play them because I liked them. And then they got a bit of traction, so I thought I'd just carry on doing it.
I would like to request some
Stone Cold theme tune as we
Stone
come out of the tunnel.
Yeah, they've come out by that. I would like to request some Phil Collins. I don't know why there's not more Phil Collins played.
I thought he was going to say Phil Tufnell then.
Why don't get Phil Collins played at? I mean, in the air tonight's the obvious sort of build-up one. I think Easy Lover's a lively, jively song, isn't it?
Yeah.
Needs a bit of Susodio or Invisible Touch there.
Susodio.
Invisible Touch.
Invisible Touch, yeah.
That's half-time track.
Songs that give you up like for it. But I think obviously in the air tonight's that pre-game atmospheric build and everyone would do the drums. Yeah. Phil Collins, mate.
All right. It's on next season. It's on the list.
Yes, I can't wait. I'm going to get there early now.
Get there early.
Make sure because
Dan might make a kick-off now. You never know.
Yeah, exactly. I never hardly ever do, and I can sit. But now I know Russ. Getting there early, I get something extra out of it because I'm hearing the music. Russ is playing now. That's interesting.
Russ? Can't you play one? And have a little dig at the ball, like take that, never forget.
No. Do you know what? You could be honestly, you could be so careful with what you say. I remember once we'd lost the game. It's just a few back at the old girl, and I just put like a little playlist on, and one of the songs was "Changing Man" by Paul Weller, and then they're literally like the next on Sunday in the papers, one journalist was like saying, "Oh, and even the stadium DJ thinks it's time for Pardew to go." I just literally just pressed play, it's like just press the button, but I wasn't. It wasn't my sort of.
It's not like you pressed the button that said you're getting sacked in
the morning. It was just like a good tune. We'd lost the game, but it was like careful.
Yeah, you can imagine, innit? I mean, some of those. I mean, what was the when we had the big Burnley game at home.
Yeah,
you're up there. What's it like for you? And then obviously you've got to play music. Are you thinking, right? Oh, this is all kicking off. I'm not going to play any music. Or
we just kept it like really low level and stuff. Nothing to. And it was. I mean, it was scary because
Spice Girls. Stop.
Yeah, stop.
Yeah.
Right now.
I mean, from your vantage point, you've got a good view, I imagine, of everything what's going on. And you're like,
it was scary. Yeah, it was scary. I mean, in the same way, obviously, although when we had that, we spoke about that Millwall game when there was a pitch invasions. I was right next to the police control room, so I knew how to get home. Where all the troubles were, because I could see all the cameras and all the videos and screens. So, but yeah, it was a bit intimidating. But you'd have to have got onto another level, and there's not an easy way to get from that level to the next level. So yeah.
You got any European songs planned?
Do you know what? I had the Champions League music all on the playlist ready. Had to delete that one.
They don't do one for the Europa, do they?
No.
They do a Europa League one?
I don't think so. They might do. It's the same as the Premier League. The Premier League has the Premier League handshake music and stuff like that. So they could well do. I don't know. But
I think what you could do is whatever country's team that we're playing, you play someone from that. Nah, he's no way. He's a Tottenham fan. No, I'm not having it. Don't say that, Rob. Where's the evidence? He's from West London. How can he be a Tottenham fan? He's from West London.
Probably QPR, I think, isn't he?
I need to look this up. Yeah, no, so if we play, yeah, I don't know, if we play someone in Croatia, you play I don't know what the fucking Croatian band. Eurovision.
Didn't Slaven
Eurovision,
Bilic have a band? Slaven Bilic was in a rock band
He
when
was
he
in a
was
rock band, yeah. He was. He was in a rock band.
Yeah,
I mean,
oh yeah.
oh, yeah, exactly. I'll play that one. Yeah.
Imagine playing that Millwall at home.
Yeah.
It's no, but
You'll have some geezer in the crowd who ain't even up for it. You'll put that on and go, come on, Dave, let's go outside and fucking have it.
All the old boys will come out for one more fight, one more game.
Final countdown by Europe.
Yeah, by Europe.
Final countdown, and it's a good song before a game. Get your
the
West Ham in Europa song. Can we ask that guy to actually release a proper version of it? You've seen it on, West Ham in Europa. That would if he could make that into a proper song that could be played.
Are ready Vienna clubs in the Europa League?
You can play Ultravox.
Bit of Ultravox.
Do you know what? Right. I was at karaoke. I went karaoke once, and you always think, Vienna. You think, it's a good singy song, and I'm singing it, and it's ages of just going, walk in the silence, and it was just like it just killed it. Walk in the streets and the wind, and it was just like it was not good at all. And you're just waiting for it to get to the Vienna bit, and it's taking forever. So
that's the trouble with karaoke. That's the trouble, though, isn't it? It's like some songs you think, it'd be great, and then when you see them, like the words come up, and there's like a 5-minute instrumental. Yeah, that's the ones I don't. That's the ones I hate. The karaoke songs where there's an instrumental bit, because you just sit there like.
Yeah, you stand there awkward. You end up walking back down and just having a sip of your beer and getting back on.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Frizzy hair, full sound. Julian Dix likes Guns N' Roses and Iron Maiden, and he's a massive Elvis Presley fan as well.
He is.
He's got good taste. He's got good taste.
Yeah. Ryan, I'm sorry.
What are you sorry for?
I don't like Elvis Presley.
Chaps. I need to learn. Back in a sec.
Take it with you. Take your camera with you so we can hear you.
It's not a big fan of the Elvis. It's not my. I don't mind that in the ghetto. I don't mind that.
It's a good Elvis is a good part. It's a good wedding songs as well. Do you know what I mean? Where everyone comes around as Suspicious Minds, or there's certain songs you play like when I used to do like the wedding DJ and stuff.
Burning Love.
Yeah, Burning. There was you do like I don't know like. What was it? So the Grease Mega Mix was a good wee song. So you put that on. It's like 6-7 minutes. You've got enough time to go for a quick wee.
I love a Grease Mega Mix.
And then what's the song you play after the Grease Mega Mix? Tell me more. Go to Jitterbug. Always. It's like wedding DJ one.
I was trying to
wedding DJ 101. Always Jitterbug.
Do you have a bit of Jive Bunny as well?
Jive Bunny.
You know what?
Jive Bunny always reminds me of when I was a kid at like family parties and the Jive Bunny goes on. All the mum and dads are up doing the old Jive Bunny.
Love it.
Do you do weddings and have you done them in the past?
Yeah, I used to do them. Yeah.
Me and Jace are we're the two people. Listen, we're like DJ's nightmare because we'll go. Stick a bit of 80s on, innit? You got a bit, we'll say this. You got Mark Morrison, in the 90s. You got, so we're like, listen, just play all what we tell you to play. Don't worry about what you come with. Yeah, we're gonna keep coming and telling you what to play. And
I remember being in Reflex one night, and there was an argument in there with a DJ because they was asking him to play Grease, and he was turned around and said, "Look, I've got Grease, but this is an 80s club, and people don't realise that Grease was 70s."
Yeah.
So, but he still ended up playing it, but the girl weren't having none of it. She was having a right go. And I was starting out. I went, put Grease on. It was near the 80s. It was 77.
70s, but it was better be in the 50s, wasn't it? The actual.
Yeah, exactly.
So not
and everyone who was meant to be 18 years old was actually about 30.
30, yeah.
Yeah, they were doing that for years. But no, it did. The style of the music, they leans on the 50s music. So even though it's 70s, it still feels 50s. You're trying to play it in an 80s club.
Yeah.
So you're playing,
so out of the decade.
Yeah. You might play Don't You Want Me Baby, and then you're going into Grease Flipping Lightning. It just doesn't gel. So
Grease is always one that it just gets you up for it. I love it.
Love it.
Do you know what, Russ? I'll tell you this is so me and Jace, we was out one night and Jace had this Michael Bolton CD. A single, Fool's Game it was called. It's a tune. If anyone hasn't heard Fool's Game, that is great. It's a good one actually for football. But anyway, so we take it to the club and we knew the DJ bit, and when he goes, "Oh, can you play this?" He puts it on, the dance floor fucking empties. Right?
That's the one, isn't it? That's the
me
one.
and Jace, it's just me and Jace there. And we didn't even know how to dance it. So we go, Fool's Game. And after that, and it was fucking, and afterwards, Jace goes to the DJ. He was like, he goes, "Oh, thanks for that." And he goes, "Keep it. You can play it every week." And he's like, "Nah, you're all right."
That's the worst, isn't it? That's the worst of a wedding DJ when you like play a tune and like everyone leaves. And you might like really like the song. You go, "Oh, it's a banging tune." I was, no, we're not having this one. It's like, oh, okay, but back to Motown.
Go to the nightclub, listen to Michael Bolton.
Well, we do apparently, but it was just that Jace was like, "You can play it every week, can't you?" Like, no awareness, and the guy's like, "No, it's all right." And fucking Michael Bolton,
Brilliant.
All these.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, so it's great stuff. No, but usually we do request stuff that people, it's good dancing songs, but I don't know what I was thinking then. But
do you know, I living on a prayer started getting on my nerves a bit. It's a great song, but when you go out and they keep playing it every week, and Summer of '69, and even when I hear them now, they're great songs. Don't get me wrong, and if they did come on, and I was out, I'd probably still dance to them, but.
I kept ruining my trousers to Summer of '69, doing the knee slides. As you'd come and you scuffed your trousers.
I could never find my air cadar when I put it down. That was my problem.
What would be your end of like when you have an end of like a wedding reception? What song? There's like a song where everyone gets together in a big circle and starts singing. Where it's usually like New York. But it's
New York. You know what? I don't know why. New York, everyone stands in a circle and just starts kicking their legs.
Kicking the bride and groom in the middle.
I never understand it. They just start kicking their legs in the air in a circle. And you just get some random people going, duh, 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 duh. You always get one girl crying. There's a girl always crying in the corner.
I mean, obviously, the main one is, it's funny because I'm not a big fan of the song, but when it's played at the end of the night, it kind of works. And that's I've Had the Time of My Life. What's it?
Dancing.
Yeah, and we would always have this thing, like me and Jason mates, where you'd have to do the lift. So I'd go, Jace would lift, and there'd be some times where, right, let's try and lift Jace. And we fucking drop him on his head and fucking all sorts, and nearly paralyze him.
I feel like this is something that we all need to see.
We do. Listen, we'll go out, you'll see. Once that song is lifting.
Bring the CD.
And then after that, we start getting queues of people we don't even know running at us, get us to lift them up. But that's the one, isn't it?
Neil was saying that last week we mentioned about a nightclub that me and Nicky went to in Bristol. Honestly, Russ, this nightclub was unreal. It was like 3 or 4 floors, and every floor was different, like a bit of music. And we was on the 80s level. And I remember we lost a couple of our mates, and we found them upstairs, and they was in the 90s room. We was like, come on, I can't. And then one song come on, and we just stayed there all night. I didn't realise how good the 90s was. But
90s was brilliant.
Neil saying he was the head doorman of that club. I wish I'd known him back then. He could have slipped us in the old VIP bit or something. But it was a great night out. Great place to go, Bristol, for a night out.
It is. It's a great night out. Bristol is.
Yeah, I've never been.
I reckon you'd like it there, Dan. It's really
down by the riverside and the waterside.
Yeah.
Down by the river. I've never been Bristol though. Never been. Yeah. I want to go there. I've heard it's a good night out there.
Do you know? That's after a while, Abba started getting on my nerves. That's how we're dancing quick. Yeah, that is the ultimate auntie dance song.
I can't stand that. Yeah, I really can't. Stand that.
You know what? Come on, you can't say you like Elvis, but you don't like ABBA.
Oh, I just did.
Yes, you can.
ABBA. you can say that.
I'll say it again.
I've just never been a real fan of.
I hated him as
ABBA.
a kid. I appreciate him now. I haven't gotten old. I kind of listen and think, hey, some tunes. They actually had some tunes.
I think with a lot of stuff, you said like Michael, even like Michael Bolt, when you deviate away from Dancing Queen, it's some good tunes.
Here we go. Here's our night out sorted. Thank you so much. I'll make sure, mate. I'll look you up. And we're trying to get down there. Probably won't be this, but we'll make sure we're trying to get down there. That'll be.
I'll get Jace to bring the Michael Bolton CD. We'll bring that.
Maybe we'll try to organise something for an international break next season when there's no West Ham. We can all meet up down there in the VIP booth.
Russ guest DJ. Russ is the
well,
guest DJ.
my firm has an office down in Bristol, so I go down there quite a bit.
There you go. There you go. We can sleep in the office. We ain't even got to pay for a hotel room. Madness is always good at a disco. Yeah, you can't beat a bit of madness, can you?
Nah, that's it. Like you can't. I think Madness is a good night out type of thing.
What about the conga? Would you guys join in the conga if the conga came on?
I'll join in anything, mate.
Are you the conga?
I'm on the floor, mate. I'm the first one there.
Saturday night, big field.
Saturday night. Do you know what I hate? Do you know what I hate? People are going to think, oh, it's another thing, Yates. But I don't like songs with a dance routine. I like to go freestyle. I like to do my own. I don't like to do all of that and all of that.
Saturday night, Macarena, Cha-Cha Slide.
Can you remember the dance to Saturday night then, Roy?
Do you know what?
There's one of them and another one of them.
Come on,
Macarena,
like that, wouldn't it?
Yeah, was that the Macarena?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I remember the Macarena, but I don't. Saturday night, it was like.
Dan's clenching his jaw. Look, Dan, I think it'd be quicker if you just listed things you do like.
Yeah, but you go out. You look at people, whether it's the electric slide and all of that, and they're all doing the same dance routine. It's like I just feel the music and I move. That's what I want to. I don't want to be restricted to doing.
What's that one when everyone? I can't even remember the name of it now, but it's been recently. Whenever it's dun dun, everyone's like all that on the dance.
Electric slide. Yeah, that's one. Candy. They do it to Candy.
Yeah, Candy. That's it. I walk off.
I'm one of the people that do my own thing.
When I first tried doing that, I was sort of on the front, and all I kept finding myself was turning around, copying whatever I was doing.
I'll be that one person that everyone else is doing it, and I'm just fucking doing my own thing on the side. People are like
freestyling it, Dan. Freestyling it.
Yeah. Oh, I hate that song as well. 2 hops this time, 3 hops.
Oh yeah.
Cha-Cha
Slide.
Cha-Cha.
Tiger Feet. Now that's a tune.
That's sweet.
I've never heard that. I haven't heard that played in a club or a party before. I've never heard that played outside of just.
Yeah, they used to play that in Reflex, Tiger Feet.
Really interesting.
Yeah. Superman.
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 What was that? Black Lace, wasn't it?
Yeah, Black Lace. Yeah.
Do you know what, the only song that I do the dance to is MC Hammer's Can't Touch This. That used to be the thing where me and Jace would go in. That'd be like our thing. We'd do the MC Hammer's dance. Whoa, and then all that. It fucking Jason nearly had a heart attack. Literally had a heart attack doing that. It's good exercise, good cardio.
Freaking old Dan, you're going to be life and soul at the Friday night playing piss up.
Listen, just make sure I'm in charge of the music, and I will be. Don't put Nicky in charge. It will be all singing Wonderwall all night, crying into our pints.
Oh, have it your way. We'll be singing fucking Dancing Queen all night. Or
give me Dancing Queen over Wonderwall any day of the week.
Dan,
come on.
You're not a fan of Oasis, then, Dan? No?
That was kind of like the big thing last week we talked about.
Hey Jude by the Beatles, that's a tune.
Some tunes.
Love the Beatles.
Great songs.
A lot of football games have started playing that now, haven't they?
Yeah. Penny Lane. What a song.
This is what Agadoo, bloody. Have you ever played Agadoo, Russ? Have you played Agadoo?
Oh, wedding, not football. No, not football.
Oh, Timmy Mallet, yeah.
Do you know what? I worked with Timmy Mallet once. When I was at uni, his mate, my housemate, was his next door neighbour, and so he used to do like the uni circuit, and just like just like Pat Sharp and Chesney Hawkes, and they used to do it. And we used to sell merchandise for him, and when we was in the green room, like backstage in some nightclub in Nottingham, my mate pulled me aside, went, "Look, don't laugh at Timmy when he talks to the DJ." I was like, "Why?" He says, "Oh, because he takes it really seriously." And basically, what he was doing, he was like saying, "Right, okay." So he walks to the DJ, "Right, okay," really like deadpan serious. So I'm going to go on and go blah 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 blah, and then I'm going to say, "Speedy Gonzalez," and he started doing all the voices, but like deadpan. And I'm like, it's funny. And I've still got a signed Pinky Punky somewhere. Which is signed for me.
I was a huge Timmy Mallet fan as a kid.
Yeah, didn't he end up suing West Ham because we were selling little Herbie the Hammers in the club shop?
Probably.
Yeah, I remember that story. Yeah, we used to sell little Herbie the Hammers in the club shop, and Timmy Mallet sued West Ham. That's why they stopped selling them.
Yeah, I think that's why they moved away from Herbie Hammer.
Herbie Hammer.
Hammerhead instead, didn't they?
Fucking, so he proper fully has the rights to having little hammer mascots. It was possibly. We have a Herbie Hammer. That was a mallet. It was a mallet. Mallet. Two different things.
Well, association game.
Mustn't hesitate. We get a bash in the head like this and like this.
Remember when and say Blair?
Remember when he used to stick a sticker on your chin?
Yeah.
Then
you had to do what was it? Whack away, wasn't it? You had to do whack away.
No wonder some of the kids from the early 90s are fucked up.
It was that was the first Jailings thing. You see, that was Jailing, but Timmy Mallet had already got the rights, so we had to go like
that. Yeah, that's it. Timmy Mallet's got the rights. You're screwed, really, ain't you? It's Timmy Mallet. Where is Timmy Mallet? Do you know, Russ? Have you? Where'd you last see him?
He lives in
He's in a wardrobe in Nottingham somewhere.
Yeah. The DJ threw him in the way. Oh, I can't remember where he lives. Oh, I can't remember. It's somewhere south. It's like, but I can't remember. It's like a posh place. But I can't remember where it is. I can't remember where the place was.
The special. Yeah, they must get played quite a bit. Do you know what? That specials. As you've seen that Father Ted episode where this DJ goes to the place, he gets the DJ, and the only song he's brought is Ghost Town. It's the only song, so he just plays it over and over again, and he has to announce the winner. So he goes, right, please stand for the national anthem, and he puts on his ooh. Fucking, I love Father Ted.
Yeah, I thought you just want to leave it there, or you all right?
I feel like under pressure when you said, "Do you want to leave?" Like if I say yeah, like
no.
I've ended the.
Gone on for nearly 2 hours. We've kept Russ for a bit longer than I thought we was. So thank you so much, Russ, for joining us tonight, mate.
Thanks, always a pleasure having you on, mate.
Right, Giggle.
We'll have to. Yeah, we'll definitely have to take Russ out, and we'll like I said, we'll go to the place we went to for Ryan's stag do. Where was that? Was that?
Pop World.
Yeah.
We'll get on it, mate. We'll have
the Michael Bolton CD. Bring the Michael Bolton.
Yeah,
bring that Michael Bolton CD. Honestly, and I will give that to you, and then you can play it at West Ham.
Oh yeah,
that will go.
No, Dan, he wants to keep his job.
Yeah, he played at the Cliffs a couple of years ago, Michael Bolton, because my wife went to it, and he had all these 60-year-old women hanging hanging off him, and it's just in it's like, really?
That sounds like Graham when he used to go Palms Hotel.
Palms Hotel.
What was it? Room at the top, wasn't it? Or Magnum.
I drove past the old Palms Hotel a few weeks ago. It's all gone now, isn't it? It was a conference or whatever it was.
Yeah, it's a conference centre.
That was
didn't we have a couple of new those there, right?
We had a presentation there. Yeah, that was the first ever presentation I had there. That was when you used to walk from the bar to the dance floor. You turn around and your shoes are stuck to the floor. It's terrible in there. But you got anything you want to say, Gray, before we leave our lovely audience?
Just everyone have a good weekend. Take care. Look after yourselves. Be kind to each other.
Yeah, and the sun is back tomorrow.
Yeah,
the sun is back. So enjoy your weekend. Dan, you want to add anything, mate?
Yeah, no, just really good surprise to have Russ on, and a really good chat, and someone maybe who's a little bit more refined taste in music than I've had to put up with my fellow West Ham fan TV guests here. And so it's good to see a fellow music expert that I've got to deal with. I just want to put that out there. So hopefully we can have you.
Is he having a dig at me and you there, right? Is he having a dig at me and you?
I think he's having a dig at us all, Gray, but just ignore him, mate. Just ignore him.
Nicky's the main.
Don't let him wind you up.
No. We've had a beer.
Put your hands down.
No, to be fair, Scott, I have to say Scott is the only one who really I can say is, he's good taste in music. I like Scott. I like Scott. I like Scott's taste in music. I think.
Damn, me and Ryan sitting here, we can hear you.
We've all got our own taste. You know what I mean?
Yeah, someone's better than others. That's all I'm saying.
The world would be boring if we all like the same things, wouldn't it?
Yeah, maybe it wouldn't be. You never know.
If we all listen to ABBA, the whole world just listen to ABBA. And fucking,
it would be
listen to fucking Funky Squirrels or whatever they're called. Or, I don't know. He listens to these metal bands, doesn't he? That I can't even pronounce.
Unbelievable.
Russ, thank you so much for joining us, mate.
Pleasure,
If you haven't subscribed to Russ's channel, My Hammers 11, why not? That's what we're asking. Why not? But head over and subscribe to Russ's channel. It's a great channel. Great interviews with ex-players and fans, and he'll interview anyone, basically.
Anyone.
I see pictures you was putting up the other day of the ice cream man, Russ. I'm surprised you didn't ask him for his ice cream 11 or something.
Yeah, ice cream 11. Yeah.
Viennetta.
In goal, lemon ice in goal.
Lemon ice. No, in goal, it's got to be Fab.
Yeah,
Fab.
Yeah, there you go.
See?
99 with sprinkles and sauce at left back.
Of course. Fucking hell, that's 4 players in one there, great.
4 players.
Yeah.
That's been great. It's been good fun, guys. Good fun.
Thank you. But we'll leave it there. As always, subscribe to our channel as well. Hit the like button. And we'll be back over the next few days with some videos. And we've got some exciting stuff coming up on the channel. I'm looking forward to it. But have a great weekend, everyone. And thank you so much for joining. Boys, one thing left to say.
Come on, you Irons.
Come on, you Irons. Go on, you fucking Irons.
Go on, you Irons.